Good day, everybody. This is Michael from Archimede Design. As most of you have this problem, I have a MethodX here on an industrial shelf, and I need to manage my spools a little bit better because they're just kind of laying everywhere. I kind of moved them up to the top here, but so in this video, we're going to go through a quick design of a spool holder and mount it on that industrial shelf. So let's get on to Fusion. All right, so let's go through the design process. I've already designed this, so I'm just going to kind of step through it and just explain a few things. So first thing, I'm going to talk a little bit about the existing bracket that I'm going to build this off of. I use this industrial shelving for my 3D printer, and I needed to develop something that I could just slide in these slots. If you're familiar with these industrial shelves, they just have a couple bent out tabs that kind of fit in these slots. Pretty common in the design. So I basically just took a picture with a ruler and I brought it in as a canvas to help design that initial part. I'll kind of show you what that looked like. I'd quick just modeled what the frame looked like, and then I started building a design off of that. So I'll just quick show that and turn off the actual canvas so you can see what ended up happening. There's the frame, there's the part. The whole purpose of this was to be able to attach a piece of plywood or a panel or something on the sides of the shelf, as you'll see in some of the other part of the video. And then it slots into place. I'm going to, let's just turn the frame off. So one of the approaches to this is I wanted to be able to print this without really using any support. So I had to put a lot of thought into how I would orient it, the angles in which things were printed, to ensure that I could do this without any support. And this is the solution I came up with. It's pretty strong. It's held up pretty well. We'll see how it does holding a bunch of spools. So let's get back to the other view. And let's frame back in. All right, so basically there's two holes right here and right here. And I'm just going to basically build a bracket to come off that. And then dowels will go across. It'll be on both sides, which you'll see. Dowels will go across. Half-inch dowels, so I'm going to probably do this in aluminum or maybe copper, since I know I have some copper pipe laying around. So first was to come up with the actual profile, what this is going to look like, and the spacing for those dowels. This dashed outer line is basically the outer edge of a spool. Obviously spools can come in a little bit different sizes, so there is some space here to allow for that. Basically just starting with some basic flat designs. Some people don't necessarily like to do this. It does increase your print time sometimes, depending on what your infill is. I just think it looks better, and sometimes I do print on a raft, and that raft does increase the amount of support material for that raft, so I like to minimize it if I can. Adding the flange to attach it. Putting in some fillets. It's really good to fillet your edges, especially going around a perimeter if you know how it's going to print. That way you have a continuous movement of your printer head instead of it stopping abruptly and just moving to print in another direction. And then I add a bottom flange to give it some flexibility, more stiffness, both downward as well as flexing inward, because I have two of these just kind of hanging off. If they're not somewhat supported on that bottom flange, they'll tend to want to bend and wobble a little bit. So not that there's a lot of that's going to happen, but want to give it some strength. some more filleting, adding some holes. And here I'm just going to show you at what it's going to look like 2 feet apart. Just mirroring everything. And then I'm just going to add the copper pipes. So that's it. That's pretty much what I'm going to be building. I'm going to attach these on with some machine screws and then just hang it on the industrial shelf and then line up my spools. I'm probably going to need 2 of these, but just for this video I'm just going to make 1. So next let's do some 3D printing and building. Just a quick voiceover here. I ran into some issues with the copper tubing, making it fit correctly. So I actually changed the design of those holes that it goes into and made them so they could be press fit holes. There's some really good videos out there on how you can do that in different ways, but check out the model on things at the link that I have in the description, and you can see the model. So after assembling it, just checking some measurements here to make sure where I want to hang this. I'm just going to take a measurement to make sure I cut my copper tubing to the right length. It should be 2 feet. So as I'm cutting that, I realized that I couldn't get them to sit in snugly. So I designed some press fit fittings to go in those holes for the meantime. But this is exactly where I decided to change the design and put in different hole design. And then from there, I put my spools in the Mylar bags, so it's not as beautiful as it can be with just open spools. But anyway, if you want to check out this design, it'll be on my thanks page. You can see that in the description, and please consider liking and subscribing my videos.